Hey, what's up, family? So, what's the best way to increase your IQ, your intelligence, your vocabulary, your brain? Well, I happen to think that it's in learning a new word a day. So, here we are again. A word a day. Today's word for the day is hanker. Hanker, and that's Hanker, hanker. The definition of hanker, it's a verb, by the way, is to feel a strong desire for or to do something. So she hankered to go back. She had a strong desire to go back. Okay, let's look at Merriam's. To have a strong or persistent desire, to yearn, often used with, for, or after. Let's look at some sentence examples. Other dictionaries come up with longing, yearning, pinning, hankering, and desire. The classic perception of posh old men in round trousers hankering for the good old days misses the point. And I'm constantly hankering to learn new words. I always have a strong desire and yearning to learn new words. Of course, I also have hankering for music and all that kind of good stuff. Synonyms. Other synonyms for the word hanker. Thanks, Daniel and Jermaine, for joining me. Other synonyms for hanker is to long, yearn, pine, hunger, thirst. You're thirsty. Means to have a strong desire for something. I never knew the word pine implies languishing or a fruitless longing of what is impossible. I didn't know that. So to pine over something means that you have a longing for something that is completely impossible. So it's different than just having a yearn or hankering. Those seem to fall in the categories of things that are possible, but for something that isn't possible, you're pining, P-I-N-E, like pine tree. And the example here they used was someone who pined for a lost love. They had a strong, languishing longing, but it was fruitless because it's impossible for them to have their lost love, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's hankering. And then, let's see what we got here, dictionarycom. To have a restless or incessant longing, often followed by after, for, or an infinitive. Other words, crave, itch, yen, wish, covet, hunger, pine, lust, long, want, sigh, ache, thirst. The origins, 1595. What's up, Daniel? 1595 to 1605. Early Dutch dialect. Hankeren. It comes from Dutch. Hankeren. Yeah. Frequentative. I never heard that word before. Of hangin. Hangin. H-A-N-G-E-N. Which means to hang. So I see how they, link that up together. To have a strong desire for or to hang in that place. She pleaded that she was too lately from school to hanker after study, but became almost enthusiastic on the subject of music. Another sentence, yet there will always be people who will hanker after the medieval and romantic who will say, we men are children. They will long for the medieval and romantic. Baked though they were tough and even boiled, they weren't things for a hungry man to hanker after. So the food must have been terrible. Try to be happy with your husband. Try not to fret over what is irrevocable and not to hanker after what is hopeless. And I almost want to say, hey, what's up, Shavon? I almost want to say, based off of what they said about the word pine, that the word pine would be used better in that sentence, because it says to be happy with your husband, try not to fret over what is irrevocable, and not to hanker after what is hopeless. But they were saying if something is impossible, and I'm using hopeless to describe that in this context, then it almost seems like they want to say try not to pine after what is hopeless. But then again, you know what? I see, because they laid it out with the word hopeless, that it is hopeless. So you could say what would be a normal desire, and then you're pointing out that unfortunately it's hopeless. When you're pining, it's not pointed out. It's actually in the word that you're desiring for something that's impossible. So that's the word of the day, hanker. So next time you're on the Scrabble board, drop the word hanker in there. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Join me tomorrow, same time, same place, for the word of the day. Have a great one, and as always, be well. Peace.